Welcome everybody. In this video we're going to be going over how to connect your Duo2Go controller to xLights and running some simple sequences. So first things first, assuming you got this right out of the box, we've connected power, connected lights, and you get the familiar amber LEDs, which are default. The first thing you're going to want to do, open up your phone, tablet, or computer and connect to the Wi-Fi network that it's broadcasting. You should see one that's labeled WLED AP Duo2Go. Android will pop up with a little modal that will ask you to click here to log in. You can just do that. Obviously, see with Apple, it goes right in. Once you're here, you're connected directly to the Wi-Fi of the access point. It's not on your local network, but you can control the lights all the same. You're going to want to click the Control tab and Wi-Fi setup. The easiest thing to do is to click Scan to search for existing networks. And you can see it found mine. And I already have my password typed in there. We're going to hit Save and Connect. And we'll give that some time to connect. Okay, and once it is connected, you will see down here, it says Client IP, and that will tell you the address the DHCP server has assigned it on your local area network. Okay, now that we've done that, I'm going to move this out of the way. And I'm going to bring up my desktop. Okay. And here you can see we can control it just like we did from the tablet. Okay. Now if this is a fresh installation out of the box, you'll see some of the default settings. Configured for 100 lights on each port. 100 lights on the first port, 100 lights on the second port. That is not what I currently have attached right now. I actually have 50 on each port. I'm not going to worry about changing that right now because we're going to be doing that via xLights in just a little bit. So let's close this window and set up our controller in xLights. Alright, let's click on the Controllers tab, and you'll see there are no controllers currently set up in my network. Just a heads up, the Discover button does not work for WLED controllers, so you're going to have to add this Ethernet controller manually. Click on Add Ethernet, and it'll populate that with some default settings. Click on Name. Again, this is an arbitrary setting. I'm just going to name this Duo2Go for now. Description is another arbitrary setting, just meant to help you identify which controller is which. Say if you have multiple Duo2Gos, I'll name this Front Porch. Now, vendor. There's a limitation in my recording software that does not show the drop-down menu, so I will try to throw a static image of what this drop-down menu looks like on the video. You're going to want to navigate down to WLED, and under Model, same deal with the window, but you're going to want to choose RGB2Go, Duo2Go. The next several can stay as they are until you get to IP address. Just type in the IP address that your DHCP server assigned to your controller. Mine was 10.1.1.198. The next setting you're going to want to change is the protocol. E131 is default. However, it is a bit older and it is not nearly as efficient as DDP. On a wired connection, you might not notice the difference, but specifically on Wi-Fi, where any latency gets exaggerated, you're going to want to use the most efficient protocol possible, which in this case we do recommend to be DDP. And lastly, uncheck keep channel numbers. That is not supported on WLED controllers. Okay. Once those settings are complete, we're going to go back here on the left and click Save. Feel free then click on the Visualize button, and you can see our 2 ports, and I call it, there's 2 ghost ports that for some reason xLights puts in there. We're going to ignore those for now. I'm not sure exactly what type of ports those are supposed to be. I wonder if it thinks there might be 2 serial ports here, but either way, you can disregard these 2 ports for now. Okay, next we will click on the Layout tab, and we're going to create some very basic models. We have 2 strings of 50 lights here, so we're going to make 2 single line models that are 50 nodes long. And I'm not making these perfectly, but you can see that we have single line 1 and single line 2. Let's configure them for the controller. Click on the first one. You can see xLights defaults to 50 nodes on a new string. We're going to want to change the controller to the Duo2Go. This is just the name that we entered in on the previous screen. Scroll down some more. And we're going to change the port to number 1 and click Save. We're going to do the same thing for the second string. Again, 50 LEDs. Going to change the controller to Duo2Go and change this to port 2. And click the Save button. Going back to the Controllers tab, you'll now notice that we have single line and single line 2 under the models. And this Upload Output button, when pushed, will take this configuration and send it to WLED, overwriting its current config. So remember how it was set to 100 LEDs before for each port? This should override that and set each port to 50 LEDs to match the models as defined in xLights. Let's do that. And you'll see my lights blink off because that now went back to default. You see they're back to amber. Let's open up WLED again and verify. Let me refresh this page. Go back to LED preferences and confirm that, yes, in fact, those settings were overwritten. Let's close WLED and get back into xLights. So now that the lights have the proper configuration, we're going to set up a very simple sequence. Put one effect on the first string and another effect on the second string. So let's click on the Sequencer tab. I've often found if your models are not showing up on these windows, you just need to right-click and reset them. Again, mine are showing up fine, but if they're not showing up for you, that's where they'll be. Let's drag the rainbow effect to our first string, and we'll do the bar effect to our second string. Let's select red, white, and blue. We'll be patriotic. Choose the direction to be left. Increase the palette rep, increase the cycles, so we can get some movement on there. Okay, we will. And I save, render, and save again. Others might tell you how to do it differently, but that's the pattern I've sort of fallen into. It's always worked for me. Let's play our effect, and you can see this is how the effect should look on the lights when it's broadcasting. And currently there is no effect going on the lights because xLights is just simulating the sequence on our screen. In order to push the data through to the lights, you're going to want to click on this Output to Lights button up here. then click play. And as you can see on strand number 1, we have the butterfly effect. Kind of hard to tell with it all in a bundle there, but yeah, it's very rainbow. And here we have red, white, and blue. And if it were pulled out straight, it would resemble the effect you see on your screen. Make sure you turn off output to lights when you're done, or else xLights will limit you from making any other settings changes as regards to the controller. We stop broadcasting the lights and we get back to amber. So there you have it. That's a very, very simple xLights setup and config to get your first basic sequences pushed to your lights on your Duo2Go. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comment thread below. I will try to answer those as soon as I can. And in the meantime, thanks a lot. Thanks for watching.